3.8%, that is how fast the US economy grew last quarter. Everybody celebrated, headlines, markets, the whole thing. I pulled one line out of that report, just one, and the number changed to 0.1. Not 1, not 0.5, 0.1%. A Harvard economist named Jason Furman, the guy who used to run the Council of Economic Advisors under Obama, went through the GDP data for the first half of 2025 and stripped out one category: technology infrastructure, investment, data centers, servers, and the software running inside them. Take those out, and GDP growth drops from a headline everyone was celebrating to a number that basically rounds to zero. S&P Global backed it up. According to their analysis, 80% of the growth in private final demand during that period came from data centers and tech infrastructure. 80%, not from people buying cars, not from people going out to eat, not from you getting a raise and spending a little more. From a few hundred companies pouring concrete and racking servers in Virginia and Texas and Oregon. And I do not know about you, but I do not work in data center construction. Now I want to be clear, this is not advice. I am not your financial planner. I just read a report that changed the way I look at the numbers, and I am walking you through what it actually says. Because here is the part that is harder to say out loud. The Bureau of Economic Analysis also noted that imports dropped 29% in Q2 after surging 38% the quarter before. Retailers had panic, bought inventory ahead of tariffs in Q1, then stopped ordering in Q2. And since imports get subtracted in the GDP formula, that drop alone added more than 5 points to the headline number. Do the math, 3.8 minus 5, you land at roughly negative 1.2 annualized. So the real growth story of the American economy in the first half of last year was this. Server farms went up, imports went haywire, and the number on the screen looked great. That is the headline. Here is what it hid. Meanwhile, 330 million people were still going to work, swiping their credit cards, checking their 401k plans, and assuming that number had something to do with them. It did not. Moody ran the consumption data. The top 10% of earners now account for 49.2% of all consumer spending. That is the highest ever recorded, and the other 90% they are borrowing to keep up. Total consumer debt crossed $18 trillion. The St. Louis Fed found that in the lowest income zip codes, 1 in 5 people are more than 90 days behind on their credit card payments. That is not reckless spending, that is the light bill. Check your own credit card statement. Are you ahead, or are you one of the numbers, and it barely registers in GDP? Because the number does not measure whether you are doing okay, it measures whether money is moving. And money is moving, just not through you. A former White House economist removed one line from a spreadsheet, and 3.8% turned into 0.1. The economy did not grow for you. It grew around you, and that is worth understanding before the next headline.